everybody, welcome to the first video of the Shopify training for beginners. This is kind of a remake of this video to go over everything that has now been updated. So this will be replacing the previous first video so I can go over everything since Shopify 2.0 has been updated. So this first video is just kind of be going over the location of everything just to get a feel for where everything is located so you know what the overall layout of your Shopify account is. I'm going to go over everything. I'm going to be slowly redoing all of the videos in the course to make them more updated and more accurate with the new Shopify 2.0 version. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first, this is your admin page whenever you log into your Shopify account. This is on the home page and it will kind of start giving you a list of everything you need to do to set up your store. I have already done a few things on this store, so it's saying I added my first product, I customized, I added pages, and it's telling me what my next steps are. So yours will look something like this as well. Next, down here on this left side is orders. Here's where all your orders will show up. I did a few test orders, so that's what's showing up here. Yours, if you have not received any orders yet, will just look like a blank orders page. But so once you do start getting orders, this is where you'll be able to see what is fulfilled and unfulfilled, what you still have to package and get sent out. Once you click on an order, if you have not fulfilled it yet, you'll see a little button here that says fulfill this item. And that's where, once you click on fulfill this item, that's where you'll be able to add your tracking number and send that information to the customer and show them that their item has been shipped. I'll have another video that goes more in depth on accepting orders and fulfilling them and things like that. So make sure to be on the lookout for that one as well. Under orders, we have drafts, shipping labels, and abandoned checkouts. Under drafts, this is where you can manually create an order or an invoice. If kind of like it says right here, if you're taking an order over the phone, or if you're at some kind of event where somebody wants to have a custom order that you're just going to create an invoice for, this is where you would create that, and then you can email them the invoice. Next is shipping labels. Here is where you can purchase shipping labels from Shopify instead of using a different shipping label company. Abandoned checkouts. This is where you'll see when people are browsing your website and they have stuff in their checkout and they leave it in their checkout and they don't fully make the purchase. You'll see here, this is telling you about an automated message. I have another video that will go more in depth into that, where we look at all the notifications and how you can customize what your abandoned checkout notification says. Next is products. You'll see I have a few products here already. And on the product page, you'll see the picture, the title, if it's active or if it's a draft. If it is active, that means it is actively showing up on your website. And if it's a draft, that means the product listing is created, but it is not showing up on your website. You can see your inventory here, the number of sales channels that these products are active on, and then your vendor, if you list your vendor on there. Under products is collections. Collections is where you can separate your products. So when you look at yours, if you haven't added anything yet, will probably just say home page. And then you can add other various collections that you can tag your products into. I have another video going in depth of products and collections. This video is just kind of me going over the location of everything and helping you get a feel for what all your Shopify account contains. So make sure to watch for those videos going more in depth of how to add products and how to add them to collections. Under collections is inventory. This is obviously where you can manage your inventory. You can also manage your inventory on each individual product listing, but this is kind of an easier way if you know that you have lots of inventory that you need to go in and change. This is kind of an easy way to do it all at once. Purchase orders. A purchase order is when you are ordering supplies from a wholesale supplier. You could add the information from your purchase order here. You can add the tracking number, the company that it's from, and then once you receive that order, it will kind of automatically add the information into your Shopify, and you can mark them as received. It'll help you manage the products that you received and make sure you received everything that you were supposed to. Transfers, this is where you would manage your inventory if you have more than one location. So if you have like an online location and an in-store location, this would be beneficial to you if you only sell certain things online. Maybe you only sell a smaller amount of everything online. This is a good place to manage that. Gift cards is where you can create gift cards to sell on your website. Catalogs, this is where you can create a wholesale catalog for your products. Customers, this will show your people who have either subscribed to your email list or who have made a purchase. So you can see here, this was when I made a test order. And since I just placed an order and I did not subscribe to the email subscription, that is why it's saying not subscribed, but I'm still showing up as a customer because I placed an order. And then under customers, you'll also have companies. This is if you are a wholesaler and you're selling your products to another business, you can add that company under your customers. Content, this is where you'll find all of your files and your meta objects for your website. So under files, this is all of the pictures that I have ever added to my website. So if you need to look up your files or find a picture, this is where you can do that. You can also copy the link to it. I've done this before to display a video on the website. You can add it to your files and then copy the link and then put the link into your homepage on whatever you'd like the video to be displayed on. Finances is obviously your finances, all of your net sales, your profit, your earnings, all of this will be tracked here. Bill pay under finances is where you can bill vendors or send people payment so you can have it all in one place, separate from your orders page. Analytics, this is where everything for your website will be tracked. There is tons and tons of analytics that you can see here. And you can filter it by the date. You can do it from yesterday, last year, the last 30 days, on a certain holiday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You can compare it to the previous year. You can compare it to different times just to see how your store and your sales have improved. And under analytics is reports and live view. Reports is where you can compare your store against other stores. Here it kind of gives a good explanation. Similar stores based on where, what, how, based on all of these things. And live view is a really cool resource. If you're launching a certain sale or something where you are having lots of visitors on your website, you can scroll around this globe and see where everybody's located. So I think that's a really cool resource. Marketing is next. Every Shopify account comes with this marketing campaign section. And so this is where you would create your email campaigns. I know it doesn't really look like that. It can kind of be hidden in there. But to create an email campaign that you can send out to your email subscribers or to people who have purchased from you, you would come into this marketing and click create campaign. And there's tons of templates to choose from. And that is where you would send out an email campaign, talking about the launch of your store, talking about an upcoming sale, different things like that. Under campaigns is where you can manage the campaigns that you have sent out already. Automations is where if you want to create a specific custom automated notification, here's where you could do that. The abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, abandoned product browse, all kinds of things like that, you would create that automation here. Discounts is where you would obviously create your discounts. You can create it by discount code, or you can make it an automatic discount. I have a current video that is already up all about discounts. I won't be recreating that video because all the content in that is still accurate for the updated version. So you can already go watch that right now. I go super in depth on how to create each and every one of these. You can see like an automatic discount would be buy one sweatshirt, get a t-shirt 50% off, or the discount code would be free shipping for people to get free shipping on all products. So different things like that. There's tons of discounts you can offer. Next, down here under sales channels, you'll find your online store, your point of sale. If you have a brick and mortar store where you have registers, you would have the point of sale software. Under sales channels, you can also find recommended ones like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And this is where you can also get to your app and sales channel settings. So first, I'm just going to go under online store, and this opens up a bunch more settings. So under online store, first it brings us to the theme. And when you click on this green customize button, this is what's going to take you into your Shopify editor. And I'll go over that in just a second. But here is where you'll find your theme library. I kind of already have these themes because this is what I used previously. But if you don't have any themes downloaded yet, you'll be able to see this theme library. Here's where you can look at some free themes. You can visit the theme store to look at some more templates. There's lots of free options. There's also some paid options that are really good. And here is where you can browse those. So this is what current theme is published on my website. These ones down here are in my theme library, but they are not what's showing up as my actual website. If I wanted to change my current theme to one of these from my theme library, I would click on this publish button. And here's where you could customize a theme before publishing it. If you had, if you wanted to do a big website update, you could customize an entire theme like this with it unpublished. And then whenever you are ready to publish it, you click that publish button, and that's what would become what your current website is displaying as. So I'm going to click on this green customize button. And this is your Shopify editor. This is where you can actually edit what the look of your website looks like. I know it's kind of confusing that you have an editor and an admin page. What we were just on before was the admin page. That's kind of more like the behind the scenes stuff. But this Shopify editor is how you edit what your customers actually see. So I've just added a few elements so far. So in your Shopify editor, the first thing we have here is the announcement bar. This is this section at the top. Once you click on it, it opens up this section right here where you can customize the text. The header is where your logo will be located and also where your main menu is. So right now I don't have a logo, so it's just showing the name of my website. And over here is where you can customize the location of your logo and the main menu. You can change the menu type from a drop down, a mega menu, or a drawer. And also, depending on what kind of device you're on, this section right here might just show up over here. So since I'm on a desktop, it shows up separately, but when I'm just on my laptop, if I click to open something here, it will just open it up on this left side section. So don't freak out if yours isn't showing up the exact same as mine is. It's still the same content. It'll just be over here if you're on an iPad or a laptop versus a desktop computer. On this image banner, this is this section right here. And you can kind of just browse through the sections just to kind of get acquainted with what everything looks like and what it's called. You can also do that by coming down here to the very bottom and clicking Add Section. That is where you can browse through all of these sections that Shopify has to offer and just kind of figure out what you like and what you want to add to your website. These sections right here that are grayed out with this eyeball that has a cross out through it means it is not showing up on my website. So if I unclick that, now that button is showing up right here. And if you want to hide it, you can just re-click that eyeball and it'll take it away. So you can kind of see these sections right here that automatically came with this theme. I just kind of hid them because I might want to use them later. But if you want to fully get rid of them, you can click on it, come down here where it says remove section, and then it'll get rid of it from your editor over here. Down here, this is an image with text. There's lots of different ways you can customize all of these. You can have them aligned differently. You can have the image first, the image second, change the sizing. There's tons of things that you can do in each section to customize them. Down here, I have some featured products on a featured collection. You can edit how many products show and how many columns there are. That's how you can kind of play around with the sizing of things to make it look even. I usually just do one row of 4 or 5. But so just take some time to browse through all of the sections, look at what all of their customization options are, just to get a feel for how everything looks. If you notice something that you don't like on your website, understanding where everything is at on your website will help you be able to locate where to fix something. And then down here at the very bottom is your footer section. This is where your copyright statement is. This is where you can choose if you want to show your payment icons, the language selector, the social media icons. This is also once you add your legal policies, I usually link them in the footer menu. And so down here, you'll be able to click Add Block and Menu, and this is where you can add your footer menu. I have another video all about the design elements of your website, so that is where you can learn more information about that. But still in this editor over here is also your theme settings and your app embeds. So under theme settings is where you'll edit the colors, the fonts, and some other random settings for your website. But this is also where you'd add your logo, change colors, fonts, and then the rest of these are just kind of some specific settings that you can kind of go in and play around with. This is also where you can add your social media links, so your website can link to your social media page. And app embeds is where you can embed a section for a specific app. Lots of people do this if you have a reviews app that you want to display some of your reviews on your website. That should show up in this section, and then you can turn it on, and then you can add it to whatever section of your website. But again, if you're looking for more in-depth tutorials of something specific, I probably already have it uploaded. Some of the things might not be exactly accurate and updated with the 2.0 version, but most of them are. So make sure to watch those and be on the lookout for the new updated videos as well. I'm gonna click Save, and then I'm gonna go back into our admin. And so that was under Online Store and Themes. Under Themes, we have blog post, pages, navigation, and preferences. So first, blog post is obviously where you're going to be able to create blog posts. Pages is where you can create various pages. So like in here, I have an FAQ page. You can create a contact page. I also have an in-depth video about pages and connecting them to your actual website with the theme templates. So you'll see like this contact page doesn't look like it has anything in it, but it is connected to this contact template. And I have a video going in depth of explaining that as well. Navigation is where you'll control what shows up in your main menu. So Shopify automatically adds a home and a catalog, and then under catalog is linked to all of your products. So if I click on catalog, all of my products will show up. You can leave it like this if you'd like. I usually like to change it to say shop. And I like to link it to collections instead of products. That way, when somebody clicks on it, it will display to them all of the collections I have instead of just all of the individual products. Make sure to click apply. And then I also usually like to add, a contact page or things like that. Again, I also have a video going more in depth into these. I'll click save. You can also edit the footer menu. This is where I was mentioning you can add those policies. And we will get to the policies in a second. Those are actually located in settings. And so once you create the policy in your settings, here is where you can come and add it. See, there's a section for policies. That's where you'd be able to link those. And then in preferences, this is where you can add your homepage title and a description. This is what will show up if you show up in a Google search. And there's some more Google Analytics settings down here. This is also where you'll locate your password protection. So right now, my website is not live yet. And so right now it's password protected. So once you are ready to remove your password and let people shop on your website, this is where you can remove the password. Here's where you can also restrict your website to other businesses only. If you want to only be a wholesale seller and you want to do it through your Shopify, this is where you could do that. They'll need to have a login in order to access your website. So that is where you would enable that as well. Apps over here is where you'll find a list of your apps. You can also go to your app and sales channel settings. And here's where you'd be able to manage or open or uninstall the app. And then here, this green button is where you can actually go to the Shopify App Store to browse some more apps. Coming back here and going down to settings. First, we have your store details. That's your store name, a phone number, an email, your address or a PO box, your time zone, your currency. Your plan is what will show your Shopify plan. So right now, mine is just a development store that's not active, but yours, once you activate a plan after your free trial, should say basic plan, Shopify plan, or advanced plan. And this is where you can change that and change your payment method and manage that. Billing is where you'll manage all of your billing information, and you can see your subscriptions that you're being billed for, like your apps and things like that. Users and permissions is where you can add staff members. This is where you can also manage your collaborator settings. Payments is where you will manage how you accept payments on your website. So right now, mine is just in a testing mode, but yours should say Shopify payments, and you can manage those settings here. After you receive your first order is when you can activate third-party payment methods like PayPal, and this is where you would manage all of those. Checkout is where you can manage your checkout settings. If you click this, you can customize your checkout with your logo, your colors, and the rest of these settings are for what your customers are required to add when they are checking out. So here, if you want them to have to add their phone number or their email, or if you only require email, if you want to only require their last name or their first and last name, company, optional, their phone number. If you want to allow tipping, you could select this and add percentages for people to tip you additionally, and some more settings that you can look through for your checkout. Customer accounts. This is if you want to require or give the option for people to create an account with your website. That way, when they're shopping your website, there'll be a little person up here if you enable it, and they can click that to log in to their account with your website. That would be beneficial if you're offering something like a rewards program or something where they get points for however many purchases they make. Shipping and delivery is where you can add your shipping rates. I have another video all about shipping rates. It is accurate and it is updated. So if you'd like to go more in depth about your shipping and delivery and your shipping rates, make sure to go check that video out. But there's tons of settings that I walk through. Taxes and duties is where you can fill out everything about your taxes. And within this section, there's tons of links that will take you to articles that you can learn more about, do I need to charge taxes? How do I enable it? All the things like that. I'm not allowed to give you official tax advice, but in order to find out if you need to start charging sales tax or if you need to start saving for self-employment tax, you should be able to go to your state's Secretary of the State website. A quick Google search will help you find that website, and that is where you'll be able to find all the information you need about sales tax, self-employment tax, if you need to collect it, if you need to save it, all of that information. Next is your locations. This is where you can add locations that you are fulfilling orders from. Gift cards is a few more gift card settings. Markets, this is where if you want to sell to other countries around the world, you can add a certain market to sell in a certain other currency. There's tons of things you can check out in here. Apps and sales channels, we went over that. Domains, this is where you can add or buy your domain for your website. So Shopify kind of gives you an automatic free domain that's, whatever your store name is, .myshopify.com. But if you want a domain that says yourstorename.com or .net or anything like that, that is where you could purchase that. I recommend purchasing through Shopify. It makes it the easiest to connect. But if you do already have a third-party domain like GoDaddy or a Google domain, you can also connect an existing domain to your website. So when people go to whatever your domain is, it'll connect it to this Shopify account. Customer events, these are some advanced settings with app pixels and different integrations and things like that. Brand, this is where you can add your logo, you can add your colors. If you don't add them here, but you add them in your Shopify Editor that we were just in a little bit ago, that's fine. It doesn't really make a difference if you just want it to, show up either way. But if you want to make sure a certain logo and certain colors show up all across your sales apps and channels, like if you're also using Facebook and Instagram Shop and other things like that, where you want no matter what the same default logo and colors to show up, it's a good idea to add those here. Notifications, this is where all of your automated email templates are. So here, down here, it shows you what emails will be sent, an order confirmation, an invoice, a refund, the abandoned checkout. And to edit those, you can come here to customize email templates. I have another video that goes more in depth to email templates and notifications. Custom data, this is your meta fields. I personally am still learning about meta fields myself, but this is where you can add tons of custom pieces and parts to your store. I don't want to educate you guys about something that I'm not completely certain on. So as I continue to educate myself and to learn about meta fields, I will make sure to make a video that goes in depth explaining those as well. Languages, this is where you can control what language your website is in. And then your policies. You are legally required to have terms of service and a privacy policy on your website if you are selling anything online. So Shopify makes it easy. You can click create from template. Create from template. And then just because you click create from template does not mean that they are going to show up anywhere on your website. So like I mentioned before, we have to add it to the footer menu. Here you can also add a shipping policy, some more contact information, and up here at the very top, you can write a return and refund policy. So even though you can create this from a template, make sure you still kind of go through and make sure it is accurate for you and your website. It's like you'll kind of see right here, there's some information you can fill in, last updated date, make sure to add the current date in there and just kind of double check it to make sure. See, like here it says, insert the following sentence if you're using ad services such as Shopify audiences. If you're not using that, you can delete that part. And same thing down here, anything that's highlighted, basically make sure to take a look at. Same for the terms of service. Make sure an accurate email address is in here. Down here, it's got an email address. Make sure you add your address, your phone number, all the different kinds of contact information. So just make sure to double check it, even though we can create it from a template. I'm going to click save. And that was pretty much everything. I know it can look overwhelming at first, and I hope I didn't talk through everything too fast, but just kind of getting a feel for everything that your Shopify account has to offer, everything that's included, finding out where it's located can help you a ton in feeling overwhelmed and like you don't know how to operate your Shopify at all. So I hope this helped you sort of start to get a grasp on your Shopify account and that it's not as complicated as I know it looks. Like I mentioned before, make sure to be on the lookout in the Shopify course for all of the other updated videos. Most of the videos on there are still accurate, like I mentioned before, so don't let that deter you away because you think it's not accurate. Most of them are still accurate. There just might be some stuff that's located in a different place. So make sure to go check those out if you're still looking for more in-depth tutorials on how to do something, and be on the lookout for those new updated ones coming soon. And if you're watching this from YouTube, I will include a link in the description where you can sign up for this. I'll also even send you a discount if you mention you're coming from YouTube in 2023. Click that link in the description to sign up. It'll bring you to a form. It'll ask you where you heard about the course. Just type in YouTube 2023, and I will send you a link with a discount to get the course for only $19.99 instead of $30. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or on TikTok or on Instagram, wherever you can find me. I hope I helped you learn something, and I'll see you in the next one.